I disagree with you completely, Ben. I think people love doing a Sunday sauce. Bolognese is a labor of love. The longer you go, the better. You know, you got a sex life. The longer you go, the better. I don't know. They do absolutely nothing. I've used them in about 35 different recipes. Never tasted a bay leaf in my life. You know what really bothers me? When are they gonna invent something that we can smell through the camera? What's going on? Hey, meta people, enough already. Welcome to another episode of Good Cooking. And today's a Sunday, and you know what that means. We make a sauce. And today, it's Bolognese. All right, so we got our Dutch oven. We got a little coating of olive oil in there. I got my stovetop set to medium heat. And then we got our really nice garlic pancetta paste, which we made in our food processor. And we're going right in. You ready for this, Ben? I would eat this with a cracker. Ugh, why not? Garlic and pancetta, what's wrong with that? I guess that's why you're in shape and I am who I am. Anyway, and this is just gonna add another incredible layer of flavor. So we're just gonna do this for a few minutes, get a little brown. You know, Ben, we are making this on a Sunday, so technically this is a Sunday sauce. How nice.
Wow,
Right?
classic.
Ah, Bolognese.
Look at you, Mr. Traditional.
Bolognese started in Bologna. It started in Bologna.
Did it now?
I have no idea, but that's what the internet says.
I feel like the whole Sunday sauce thing is more of an ideal thing than an actual practice thing.
What?
I feel like people like the idea of Sunday sauce more than they actually like doing it.
I disagree. I disagree with you completely, Ben. I think people love doing a Sunday sauce. You put it on, slow cooking for hours, you get to dip some bread in there. You know, it's just how I feel, you know? In we're going with the onion. Oh, onion. We got it finely minced. And you want to cook your onion till we get a little bit translucent. So I got a feeling
that these onions will be translucent.
That these onions will be translucent. That pancetta is coming together with that onion. Oh my God. They got everything. You know, I gotta tell you, you know what really bothers me?
What?
They got meta glasses. Okay, now you can walk around and video your everyday life activity. When are they gonna invent something that we can smell through the camera? I don't need the nonsense of walking around going, oh, I videotaped the bus stop. No, stop. We need a little smell-o-vision. What's going on? Hey, meta people, enough already. Now, by the way, we got a little garlic. We only used it in the paste. A lot of people will say garlic is not in Bolognese. You got the onion, you don't need the garlic. It's not in traditional. Guess what? Guess what? I don't care. How about that? I don't care. There's 743,000 versions of a Bolognese. If you go on the internet, I'm doing it my way, the way I like it. So take that and do what you will with it. And now we got our celery and our carrot.
Is this mirepoix?
Oh, funny you should say. Depending upon where you buy it, if you go to Trader Joe's, they got a little mirepoix. This is a sofrito.
Oh, okay.
A little sofrito. Mix this in right at this time. Still got it on a medium heat. You're gonna season a little salt and pepper. Be careful, you could always add salt and pepper later, but be careful of the salt because you got the pancetta in there, which is very salty. So we're gonna do just a little for the veggies. I'm gonna cook that down for about 5 minutes. Get them nice, get them nice. That's not a cooking thing, that's a feel thing. Get them nice. All right, Ben, I'm going in with the meat. People will use veal, ground beef, and pork. If you don't want to, just use ground beef and pork. That's what I'm using. You want to add the veal because you're feeling a little frisky, you got a little scratch in the pocket, go right ahead, but we're not doing that. So I'm just gonna take my ground beef. Now, listen to me, when you buy ground beef, when you're using it for this dish, or any dish for that matter, don't buy too lean of a beef. You like the fat in there, it's gonna give you the flavor. So I got an 80-20. I got Nancy Silverton 80-20 ground beef. Look at this. Ew. You can break your beef up and your pork with just your spoon. You could also use one of these fancy tools found on Amazon, our Amazon shop, okay? Or you could use a little whisk. How about that? Amazon shop. We got to get the moisture out of this. So you're going to break it up And you're gonna probably cook this, I'm gonna go medium heat. You wanna go a little higher, you can go a little higher. But we're gonna have to probably cook this for about 20 minutes to get all the moisture out of it. That's what you wanna do, because the meat's got moisture. Let's mix it around. Wooden spoon, Amazon shop. Okay. Am I trying to sell something here? Yes. I'm gonna call a substitute. I'm gonna bring somebody else into the game. Let's give this little guy a try.
Yeah, what's that called?
I have no idea. What would we call this? I don't know the names.
Like a propeller.
Meat chopper?
Meat
Oh.
propeller.
Meat propeller. Got the old meat propeller out. That's nice too. Look at that. Wow, that's really nice. Let's see where we're at. Maybe another 20 minutes here, 15, 20 minutes. Let's see if we can get all that moisture out of there. You know, listen, bolognese is a labor of love. It really is, because you really do have to cook it for 3.5, 4 hours. The longer you go, the better. You know, you got a sex life. The longer you go, the better. I don't know. All I'm saying is we got a lot of moisture going on in here. We're gonna need about 20 minutes to get it out. So while this is browning, you wanna add just a little salt and pepper, not too much, just like to season. And then let's just give it a nice stir. See how that water's starting to come out, Ben? Now, once you got all the moisture out of the meat, you're gonna add your wine. I'm using a white wine, Ben. Many people use red wine. I, however, wanna use white wine because I like a little bit of a lighter flavor. The red is a little bit more robust. You wanna let it go for about 5 minutes. Once you got the wine evaporated out, we are going to make what we call a little hot spot. We're gonna part the seas here, and we're gonna put in our tomato paste. Ew. So once you got it a little bit caramelized, you know, a couple of minutes there, just gonna incorporate it right in there. I got my little mutti passata. I like using this. You can use peeled tomatoes, you can use plum tomatoes, whatever you want, but I like the smoothness of this texture because we got the beef in there and the pork and everything. That's your texture, in my opinion. You wanna use plum tomatoes, peeled tomatoes, do whatever you want. I'm using this. Also looking for a sponsorship. They got some beautiful stuff. The mutti people. Anyway, I'm gonna do about a half in there, so we're gonna go right in. All right, so look at that consistency that we got there, Ben. Now we gotta add our broth, which I have warmed. You can either use beef broth, vegetable broth, or a little chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock. Beef broth is very good too, gives a little bit of a stronger flavor. I'm going for a little bit of a lighter flavor here. So before we let this simmer for the next few hours, we gotta grate some beautiful nutmeg. Look at this. Look at this little company. They not only give you nutmeg, they give you like a little grater. Should I use it? No. I don't want to. I'm not going to use that other grater because it's not on my Amazon storefront. And, you know, gotta go where the bills are paid, baby. All right, so let's just grate, not too much. Before we cover this with the lid, we got a couple of bay leaves. What do these do?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
What is it good for? Absolutely. Now listen to me.
They do absolutely nothing. I've used them in about 35 different recipes. Never tasted a bay leaf in my life. I don't care who comes on here, Michelin star chefs, and goes, that's not true, that's not true. Bullshit. Bullshit. Bay leaf is nothing. And we see how it's bubbling there? That's what we want. As the time goes on, if we have to add a little liquid, if it gets a little dry, it gets a little dry, but I don't think that that's gonna happen. Now, a lot of people think you should cover it completely. Some people think you should leave it cracked a little bit. I'm gonna leave it cracked a little bit. We're still gonna get some of that condensation in there, but it also gets some of that moisture out of there. So some people leave their little wooden spoon underneath, and then you know what they do? They burn their spoon. Dumb.
Not good.
Not good, because then you gotta go back to our Amazon storefront and purchase more wooden spoons. So you're gonna do this, let it simmer for about an hour. I wouldn't wander off too far. You wanna check it periodically, give it a little stir, make sure everything is all right. Don't get too preoccupied. All right, Ben, we are entering the 3rd hour of our bolognese. So let's do a little reveal here, see where we're at. All right, looking nice. See how the meat is just kind of breaking apart? Basically, all of the vegetables have melted away. Got a couple of carrots in there, but no big deal. Now, we got our warm milk The reason why I do warm milk is you don't want it to curdle. It's going right in there. We're gonna give it a nice stir. We're gonna go about another 30 minutes. While that's going on, we got our boiling water going for our rigatoni. And then once that's done, a marriage is about to happen. A nuptials, so to speak. All right, got our water boiling. We're gonna throw our rigatoni in with about 11 minutes left on the bolognese. You gotta use a pasta like tagliatelle or something that can hold this sauce. And rigatoni, to me, holds this sauce very, very well because the sauce gets into the little hole and it's just delicious. You don't wanna use anything like an angel hair. In my opinion, I don't think you should use spaghetti. It's also one of my favorite. Okay, rigatoni is an absolutely incredible pasta. So we got that going, make that a little al dente, got the sauce going. Should we give it a stir? Why not? It's time to take out those bay leaves. What did they do?
Absolutely. Now listen to me.
Correct. Can't even find the other one. It's like looking for Jaws. Thanks for doing nothing. I'm gonna throw a couple of ladles in here. Okay, so once your pasta is done, I got my sauce in my pan here on a very low heat. And what you're gonna do is take this Helen Chen, which is on our Amazon shop. This is a tool you must have. This thing, forget it. I've gone fishing with this thing. Let's go fishing now. Rigatoni's done. Let's pull it over. And you're gonna get some of that starch water from the pasta going right in there so you don't have to add any, okay? Now this is a little al dente. Do it about a minute under. Plate up time. Making a bolognese is a bit of a labor of love, but I gotta tell you, if you got a nice Sunday where you got nothing going on, maybe you got your family over, maybe you got some friends coming over, it is well worth it. You got the aroma coming from that bolognese sauce for 3-4 hours, the longer the better. It's filling your house with warmth. Everyone's having a good time, couple of glasses of wine. Maybe you got a little piece of bread you dip in there every once in a while. I don't know, I'm just making recommendations. If you want this recipe, as always, it's in the description below, and from our house to yours, bon appetit. Thanks for watching. If you love this recipe, you're guaranteed to love our pasta fazool, which is located right here in this corner because Ben put it there for you. If you want other recipes, because we got 150 of them, if you didn't know, he put it in this corner. So listen, don't start asking me where these recipes are. They're in the corners. Pay attention.